Welcome back to our channel. If you're passionate about coin collecting, or maybe just stumbled upon this video because you heard that some pennies are worth more than a car, you're in the right place. I'm your name, and today we're going to break down everything you need to know about the 1975 Lincoln penny. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more exciting videos on valuable coins. The Lincoln penny, or the Lincoln cent, has been around since 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It became the first U.S. coin to feature a historical figure, and over time, it has been modified multiple times. By 1975, the Lincoln penny was already a well-established part of American currency. But what makes the 1975 penny special? In most ways, it looks just like the other pennies minted between 1959 and 1982, featuring Lincoln's profile on the obverse, or front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, or back. It was made from copper with a small percentage of zinc, as pennies were back then. However, it's not the metal composition or even a major design flaw that gives it its incredible value. It's the rarity and condition. While millions of 1975 pennies were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, only a select few have caught the attention of collectors due to their pristine condition. A penny straight from the mint, with no scratches or wear, is considered mint state, and that's where the real value lies. Coins in mint state are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being absolutely flawless. For most coins, wear and tear decreases their value. But if a coin has been carefully preserved, its grade can be high. And that's the case for certain 1975 Lincoln pennies. Some of these coins have been graded at MS-67 or MS-68, meaning they are in nearly perfect condition. It's coins like these that can fetch incredibly high prices at auction. To give you an example, a pristine 1975 Lincoln penny in MS-67 condition sold for $24,120 at a major auction. This value comes from a combination of rarity, high demand, and the impeccable condition of the coin. Now, you might be wondering, do I have one of these valuable pennies? Well, here's how you can check. First, look for the mint mark. If you find a small D under the year on the front of the penny, that means it was minted in Denver. If there's no mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. The second thing to check is the condition of your penny. Any visible scratches, dents, or discoloration could decrease its value. You'll want to use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect the details closely. If your penny is in near perfect condition with minimal wear, it might be worth getting it professionally graded. Coin grading services, like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, will assess your coin and give it an official grade, which can drastically impact its market value. As of 2024, the 1975 Lincoln penny in mint condition is valued at approximately $24,120. This price can fluctuate depending on demand in the market and the exact condition of the coin. If you have a coin graded at MS-67 or higher, you could potentially sell it at auction or through a dealer for a substantial amount. Even if your penny isn't in perfect condition, it could still be worth more than face value. Coins in lower grades may still fetch several hundred or even thousands of dollars, depending on the exact grade. So what do you do if you think you have one of these valuable pennies? The best approach is to get it professionally graded and authenticated. Once you have that, you can choose to sell your coin through various channels, like online marketplaces, auctions, or specialized coin dealers. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers frequently handle rare coins and attract serious collectors. If you're not in a rush, you could also list your coin on platforms like eBay, but keep in mind that having it professionally graded will give you a huge advantage in getting the best price. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1975 Lincoln penny, and why it's worth as much as $24,120 today. Who would have thought a simple penny could be so valuable? If you've got a 1975 penny at home, it might be time to take a closer look. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful. Make sure to subscribe for more fascinating coin discoveries. See you in the next video. Believe it or not, some versions of this seemingly ordinary penny have been valued at over on the market today. Stick around to find out how, why, and what makes this coin so valuable. Let's get into it. Before we get into why they could make you rich, let's first talk about its history. The Lincoln penny, or Lincoln cent, was first introduced in to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a portrait of an actual person. For decades, the penny has gone through several design changes, but Lincoln's face has remained a constant. In 1988, the penny was still following the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which was first introduced in. So special? At first glance, it looks like just another penny you'd find in your change. However, certain coins minted in 1988 have some very special characteristics that make them extremely valuable to collectors. The first thing to know is that not every 1988 penny is worth thousands. We're talking about a rare variety known as the 1988 penny with a reverse design transition arrow. This error occurred because the dies used to strike the coin were accidentally mixed with those from 1989. The result is that some 1988 pennies were struck with a reverse design that was intended for the next year. So how do you know if your 1988 penny is one of the valuable ones? The key detail to look for is on the reverse side of the penny, right below the Lincoln Memorial. These initials stand for the designer of the reverse. In 1989, the U.S. Mint slightly altered the design of the FG initials, making them bolder and more pronounced. Some of the 1988 pennies were accidentally struck with this 1989 FG design. That's your golden ticket to a potentially huge payday. That matched the 1989 version. Congratulations, you're holding a rare and valuable error coin. Now, let's get to the question everyone's asking. The answer might just blow your mind. While a regular 1988 penny is worth just 1 cent, the error version can sell for thousands. In recent auctions, these pennies have fetched as much as $26, $1.40. That's right, this tiny coin could be worth as much as a brand new car, or even more. But here's the catch. The condition of the penny plays a big role in its value. The best prices are fetched by coins that are in, meaning they haven't been circulated and show no signs of wear. So what should you do if you think you've found one of these rare 1988 Lincoln pennies? First, don't panic. Handle the coin carefully and avoid cleaning it, as cleaning can reduce its value. Next, you'll want to have the coin professionally evaluated by a third-party grading service like. They will certify the coin's authenticity and assign it a grade, which is crucial for determining its market value. After it's graded, you can either hold onto it as a long-term investment or sell it at auction to cash in on your find. You might be wondering why a simple mint error could make a coin worth thousands of dollars. Well, in the world of coin collecting, rarity and uniqueness are key. When a minting error like this occurs, it creates a small batch of coins that are different from the millions of others. Collectors love these rare finds, and they're willing to pay top dollar for them. Think of it like a misprinted baseball card or a rare comic book issue. The scarcity combined with the historical value makes these pennies a sought-after collectible. So, is it worth your time to hunt FNN? Absolutely. While the chances of finding one of these rare error coins are slim, the potential reward is massive. And even if you don't strike gold, you might develop a passion for coin collecting along the way. Well, that's all for today's deep dive into the Who knew a little coin could be worth over $26,000. If you've got a jar of pennies sitting around at home, it might be time to start digging. Let us know in the comments if you think you've found a rare penny, or if there's another coin you'd like us to cover, where we dive deep into the world of coins, exploring their value, history, and why they could be worth a small fortune. Today, we're focusing on an exciting and somewhat overlooked piece of American coinage, the 1982 Lincoln penny. You heard that right. This little 1-cent coin could be worth a lot more than you think. We're going to cover its fascinating history, what makes it so valuable, and of course, the current market value, which is sitting at an impressive $25,130. So, if you have a 1982 penny lying around, you're going to want to stick around until the end. Let's start with a little history about the 1982 Lincoln penny. This penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark you'll see on the coin. The year 1982 was a turning point for the U.S. Mint. Before this, pennies were primarily made from copper. However, in 1982, due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint decided to change the composition of the penny. Before the change, pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But during that year, the U.S. government switched to a penny made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating. This switch resulted in two distinct types of pennies being produced in 1982, copper and copper-coated zinc coins. What's fascinating about the 1982 penny is that it was part of this transition year. There are both copper and zinc versions of this penny, and identifying which version you have could be key to determining its value. So what is it that makes the 1982 penny so valuable? The main factor comes down to its metal composition and rarity. As I mentioned earlier, this year saw both copper and zinc pennies being minted, but it wasn't as simple as a clean transition. Some copper pennies were struck after the switch to zinc was supposed to have been completed, making them rarer. For example, in 2017, a copper 1982 small date penny was discovered, and its scarcity shot its value through the roof. This penny was accidentally minted in copper instead of zinc, making it extremely valuable to collectors. That's the kind of rarity that makes these coins worth thousands of dollars today. Another factor that can increase a penny's value is its condition. Coins that have been well preserved, without scratches or wear, and are graded highly by professional coin grading services can sell for a premium. Collectors want pristine coins to add to their collections, and they are willing to pay top dollar for those that are in near-perfect condition. Now, let's talk about how you can tell if your 1982 penny is one of the rare ones. There are a few key things you'll need to check. First, look at the weight of the penny. A copper penny from 1982 will weigh about 3.11 grams, while the zinc version weighs only 2.5 grams. If you have a small digital scale, you can weigh your penny to see which version you have. Next, check the small date or large date variety. In 1982, the U.S. Mint used two different types of dies, resulting in pennies with different date sizes. The small date version is the one you want to look out for, especially if it's made from copper. Finally, the condition of the coin is crucial. If your penny is in great shape, with no visible damage or wear, it could be worth sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, to get it evaluated. Alright, now for the part you've all been waiting for. What's the current market value of the 1982 Lincoln penny? As of today, this rare coin has been known to sell for a whopping $25,130 at auctions. That's right, a penny worth over $25,000. The highest values have been recorded for copper versions in top condition, particularly those graded as MS65 or higher. But even if your penny isn't in mint condition, it could still be worth quite a bit. For example, pennies with a lower grade, but that are still in relatively good condition can sell for anywhere from a few hundred to a few $1,000s. It's definitely worth checking if you have any 1982 pennies lying around, especially if they're copper. Why are collectors so eager to get their hands on the 1982 Lincoln penny? It all comes down to rarity, historical significance, and the thrill of owning a unique piece of numismatic history. The 1982 transition year is seen as a pivotal moment for U.S. coinage, and owning a coin from that time period, especially one with the potential for rarity, adds a level of intrigue for collectors. Plus, there's the challenge of finding a small-date copper penny. These aren't coins that you come across every day, and for collectors, the hunt is part of the excitement. Imagine stumbling across a penny worth thousands in your change jar. That's the kind of dream that drives many people to collect coins. If you do have a 1982 penny, and you think it might be valuable, what's your next step? First, you'll want to get it authenticated and graded by a professional grading service. Having an official grade from PCGS or NGC will help you get the best price if you decide to sell the coin. Once your penny is graded, there are a few places you can sell it. You can try listing it on auction websites like eBay, but if you have a particularly valuable coin, you might want to go through a professional coin auction house like Heritage Auctions. They specialize in high-value coins and can help you get top dollar for your penny. And that wraps up our deep dive into the 1982 Lincoln penny. Who knew a 1-cent coin could be worth as much as $25,130? If you've enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more coin videos. We love uncovering hidden treasures and helping you learn how to identify rare and valuable coins in your collection. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. If you're passionate about coin collecting or just curious about the worth of those little pennies sitting in your drawer, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the story behind the 1991 Lincoln penny. Believe it or not, this coin could be worth a lot more than its face value. In fact, some 1991 Lincoln pennies have been selling for an eye-popping in today's market. How is that even possible? Well, let's find out. Before we dig into why the 1991 penny is so valuable, let's take a quick trip through history. The Lincoln penny was first minted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head cent, and it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, President Lincoln himself. Since then, the Lincoln penny has become a mainstay in American coinage, with several changes made over the years. From design updates to shifts in metal composition, the penny's evolution tells a story of American history and economy. In 1959, the reverse design was changed from the wheat stalks to the Lincoln Memorial, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design stayed on the penny until 2008. So what's special about the 1991 Lincoln penny? At first glance, it might seem like just another coin in your pocket change, but the truth is, there are several reasons why this coin can be worth thousands. The 1991 penny was minted in the Philadelphia and Denver mints, marked by the lack of a mint mark or the D-mint mark. This penny is composed primarily of zinc, with a thin copper coating. This was part of a change made in 1982, when the U.S. switched from the earlier copper-based penny to a more cost-effective zinc core. But here's the twist. Despite being mass-produced, certain 1991 pennies have been discovered in pristine condition or with unique errors, making them highly valuable. Alright, here's where it gets interesting. You might be wondering, how can a coin that's so common be worth over? The answer lies in the condition, rarity, and those ever-so-rare minting errors. First, coin condition plays a huge role. A 1991 Lincoln penny in condition, especially graded as MS67 or higher by reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC, can be extremely valuable. The highest grades mean that the coin is essentially flawless under magnification, with its original mint luster intact. In fact, the 1991 penny that fetched over $27,620 was graded, which means it's nearly perfect. Coins like this are incredibly rare, as most pennies get scratched, worn down, or dirty over time. Another factor driving the value of certain 1991 pennies is minting errors. Errors can range from off-center strikes, die cracks, double dies, or even misaligned lettering. Collectors love these oddities because they're one of a kind. Now that you know why some of these pennies are worth a fortune, the next big question is, how can you tell if the 1991 penny you have is worth thousands? First, examine the condition of the coin. Look for a penny that's in pristine condition with minimal wear. If it still has its original shine and no visible scratches or dents, it could be worth having it professionally graded. Next, keep an eye out for any errors. For example, check if the design looks off-center or if there's any doubling on the letters or numbers. Even small variations can dramatically increase the value. So what is the current market value for a 1991 Lincoln penny? Right now, a standard circulated 1991 penny is worth just its face value, 1 cent. But, as we mentioned earlier, certain high-grade 1991 pennies have recently sold for as much as $27.620 at auction. Prices for these rare coins fluctuate depending on the market, the condition, and demand from collectors. If you're lucky enough to have a high-grade or error penny, you could be looking at a small fortune. So, it's worth checking out your coin collection or even asking a professional to appraise your pennies. Alright, let's say you've found a valuable 1991 penny. What's next? How do you sell it? First, I recommend getting your coin professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. Once graded, you'll have a better idea of its true value. From there, you can choose to sell your penny through auction houses, coin dealers, or online marketplaces like eBay. Auctions are great if you want to attract serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for rare coins. Remember, patience is key. Sometimes, the right buyer can make all the difference. And that's a wrap for today's video. Who knew that a simple 1991 Lincoln penny could be worth so much, right? If you enjoyed learning about this fascinating coin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on rare and valuable coins. Today, we're diving into one of the most surprising coins in recent history, the 2020 Lincoln penny. You might be shocked to learn that this modern-day penny, just a few years old, could be worth over in today's market. How did this seemingly common penny become a highly sought-after treasure? Let's explore its history, key features, and most importantly, what makes it so valuable. To understand the 2020 Lincoln penny, we need to look back at the history of this iconic coin. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in commemorating the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a historical figure, which was a major shift from previous designs that had focused on symbols of liberty and allegory. Since then, the penny has undergone several changes, including updates to the reverse side, which featured wheat ears, the Lincoln Memorial, and later, the Union Shield in 2010. But while most people think of pennies as the least valuable currency, some special editions are worth far more than their face value. The 2020 penny is one of them. Stand out from the millions of other pennies minted that year? The answer lies in its rarity and condition. While billions of pennies were produced, a small number of them emerged in or was certain that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. One of the most significant factors driving the value of this penny is the condition, also known as this is the highest grade a coin can achieve, meaning it has no visible imperfections even under magnification. Pennies in this condition are highly prized by collectors, especially when they come from more recent years where it's harder to find flawless coins. Another reason the 2020 penny has gained such attention is the discovery of some of these pennies feature unique minting mistakes that make them extremely rare. For example, error varieties such as how did the 2020 Lincoln penny reach this sky-high price? It's all about supply and demand. As we mentioned earlier, coins in are highly sought after by collectors. A penny graded as MS-70 can be worth thousands on its own, but add in a rare error, and you have a combination that can push the value even higher. Lat auction due to its flawless condition and the increasing demand for modern era coins. The collector market is always looking for rare finds, and this penny fits the bill perfectly. What to know if you have a valuable 2020 penny in your collection? Here are some tips. Look for signs of doubling in the letters or numbers on the coin or for off-center strikes. These minting errors can dramatically increase the value. 2. Some pennies may have been struck with different metal compositions or other unique characteristics. Always keep an eye out for something unusual. If you think your penny could be worth a lot, send it to a reputable grading service like a certified MS-70 or error coin can turn your penny into a fortune. The market for coins like the 2020 Lincoln penny has been on the rise, especially with more collectors turning their attention to modern coins. Right now, you have a perfect condition 2020 penny is hovering around $30, $2,100, but as more collectors recognize its rarity, the price could climb even higher. We're seeing more collectors at auctions willing to pay premium prices for these kinds of coins, especially those that are certified as perfect or have rare errors. So, if you find one in your collection, it might just be time to have it professionally graded. The 2020 Lincoln penny is a reminder that even modern coins can be treasures, especially when they're in flawless condition or have rare errors. So, before you spend your next penny, take a closer look. You might just be holding on to a small fortune. If you're passionate about coin collecting or simply curious about which coins in your pocket might be worth a fortune, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about the 2020 Lincoln penny, a modern-day coin that's causing quite a stir in the collector's market. Believe it or not, some of these pennies are currently valued at a staggering $28,290. Stay tuned to find out why. First things first, let's dive into the history of the 2020 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, has been in production since 1909, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the front, a tribute to one of the most revered figures in American history. Over the years, various changes have been made to the coin's design, composition, and even size, but Lincoln has remained the star of the show. The 2020 Lincoln penny features a portrait of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, which has been on the coin for over 100 years. On the reverse, you'll find the Union Shield design, which replaced the Lincoln Memorial back in 2010 to symbolize national unity. This penny may seem ordinary, but certain factors make it incredibly valuable. One of the biggest reasons some 2020 Lincoln pennies are worth so much is due to rare minting errors. These errors can include things like double dies, where parts of the design are duplicated, or off-center strikes, where the coin wasn't properly aligned during production. These errors make the coin unique and highly sought after by collectors. For example, if your 2020 penny has a noticeable doubling on Lincoln's face or on the Liberty inscription, it could be one of those rare finds. The second factor that can shoot the value of a 2020 Lincoln penny through the roof is its condition. Grading agencies, like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, evaluate coins based on their condition, and the highest graded pennies fetch the most money. If your penny is in pristine condition, meaning it looks almost brand new without any scratches, wear, or damage, it's considered mint state and can command a much higher price. Some mint state 2020 Lincoln pennies have been graded as high as MS-70, which is a perfect score. Those are the ones worth thousands of dollars. While billions of pennies are produced each year, only a tiny percentage of them have the rare mint errors and top-tier condition needed to make them worth more than face value. This limited supply, combined with a growing demand among collectors, has driven up the price of these rare 2020 pennies. You might be wondering, why exactly are some of these pennies selling for $28,290? The answer lies in a combination of the factors we just mentioned: mint errors, perfect grades, and collector demand. For example, a 2020 Lincoln penny that was graded MS-70 by PCGS and featured a rare mint error recently sold at auction for a whopping $28,290. This coin was a standout because it had not only a perfect grade, but also a doubling error on Lincoln's face, something that's extremely hard to find. These kinds of coins are the holy grail for collectors, who are willing to pay big bucks to add them to their collections. Now, I bet you're itching to check your pocket change for a 2020 penny that could be worth thousands. Here's how you can check if you've got one of these valuable coins. Look for any doubling on Lincoln's portrait or on the inscriptions. If anything looks off, you might have a mint error coin. Higher the value. A professional grading service can give you an official rating, but you can get an idea by checking if your penny looks nearly flawless. If you think you've found a valuable 2020 penny, take it to a local coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS for an official evaluation. As of right now, some 2020 Lincoln pennies are fetching anywhere from $1,000 to over $28,000, depending on their condition and rarity. Even if your penny isn't in perfect mint state condition, it could still be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So there you have it. The 2020 Lincoln penny might just be one of the most valuable coins sitting in your change jar. With mint errors, high-grade conditions, and strong collector demand, these pennies have skyrocketed in value. Who knows? You might have a $28,290 coin right in your pocket.